Some people spend a lifetime trying to figure out who they truly are, and some never do. It's a long journey that takes passion, love, courage, failure, and so much more to become who we are meant to be. This story is about a person who dedicated his life to becoming a superior athlete, a celebrated two-sport star that found a new passion along the way, one that has changed his life forever. This is Sidereel.
My childhood was very surrounded by sports. It was surrounded from football to wrestling to baseball to soccer to basketball. It was all of them, and that was really my life back then. I mean, it still is a part of my life, but changing my path a little bit as I grow. At the beginning, freshman year, I actually had surgery on my shoulder. It dislocated like over 15 times from football to wrestling to snowboarding. All messed me up. It's still there, still good and alive. We're moving though. But then sophomore year, it was all right. I wasn't the best comeback from a surgery. I got 4th in districts, 6th in regionals. And then junior year is when I really started focusing on it. It was when I started to love it again from when I was younger. So that year went really good. I got 1st in districts, 1st in regionals, and 7th at state. Junior year, I got 1st team all Wesco for 138. So my senior year was definitely my best year. That was my year that's all I did during wrestling season. I focused on wrestling, I cut weight, I did my thing to get what I needed. So again, I placed 1st at districts, 1st at regionals, and 7th at state. I lost one match the whole season in that, up until state. But it was definitely my favorite year so far. I figured out who I am by pretty much trial and error, going through different things, what I liked, what I didn't like. I had a lot of different interests in sports and other things as well, but I really focused on fashion. That's kind of what made me feel the best. I went from sports, like from football to wrestling, to designing and sewing. Honestly, they're not physically the same, but they're definitely mentally the same. From like having to push yourself, having to do what you need to do to get what you need done. Like wrestling, you're going and cutting weight at night, you're going and running in the morning. Sewing, you need orders done, you're going to sew in the morning, you're going to sew at night. It's very mentally driving. You have to have that mental game. Sewing has kind of been my escape through life and everything, mental and like school. You know, being in high school can be really stressful at times, especially I was very sad and down at one point. That's what brought me back to who I was, by giving away who I am, pretty much, putting myself into clothes, showing people how I feel, who I am. So I got to be able to put that into something and see it and love it and sell it around the world. So that's kind of what brought me to who I am. The hardest conflict I've faced in my fashion career has pretty much been like learning each machine. Every machine's different once you start doing it. So it's like learning each machine, and then the actual business side, creating my website was really hard too. It was definitely a long process and it took a lot, but it's been worth it so far. I got my business going kind of through, at the beginning I was just tapering jeans, I was tailoring, I was doing different things with t-shirts, customizing, I was doing all that, and then it kind of went on from there to t-shirts, to hoodies, to pants, to on and on, but it kind of started to blow up when I got different wrappers in my hoodies, which helped me tremendously. Different promotion through Instagram, through their Instagrams. That's definitely what blew me up. Social media plays a huge role in the fashion industry in promoting my brand. They go from, like I said, having rappers in your hoodies. They can tag you, which gets more people coming to your site or your Instagram or your Twitter or whatever it is. And having them on yours as well can help either way. It definitely plays a huge role. So my social networking process kind of depends on what I'm doing at the time and what I have coming out. So if I have a new hoodie coming out, I usually try to get it on a rapper, an artist, or someone, promote it through them before dropping it. And then as soon as it does drop, I'd either post a picture as a lookbook or as a product photo. Just depends on the type of picture I want. The reaction I get now is very different from what I used to get. I used to get more of it was more of a feminine thing to do. But now people kind of see what I do and how I do it and how much work I put into it. They accept me definitely a lot more, but no one's ever really been like, oh, don't do that, why are you doing that? But I've always continued to do what I needed to do. I'm sure every designer or anyone who's tried to sew has been like, as soon as they start sewing, they're probably like, this is not good. No one comes into it ready to go, perfect stitches every time. It takes time. Everyone's like, dang, this is hard. It takes a long time to learn. And it's tough for someone who has a weak mindset to kind of push through with that. I started sewing 4 years ago, and then as that came along about a year later, I kind of started selling custom orders because I didn't know what I wanted to make quite yet. So I kind of put in what people wanted, which I still do. But my inspiration kind of came from myself and who I was and how I felt. That's what inspired me to make clothes. So that was my inspiration at the beginning. And then kind of the path I wanted to take, my inspiration through that was Rick Owens, another high-end fashion designer. I love everything he does and the way he does things and his whole life story. It's definitely inspiring. So my inspiration for starting my clothing brand was pretty much just putting my feelings into the clothes and giving it to different people around the world. I wanted to show my creative ability. I wanted to show who I am and what I can do. 100%, my family has definitely supported me in my career. They all love what I do. They all help me, from trying to get me new machines, from trying to help me go to college, to make new connections, and they've helped me with everything for sure. The process when designing a clothing item, so let's say a hoodie, what I usually do, I go get my fabric from online or from a store, and then I bring it back home. I have all my templates cut out, all my handmade templates that I've made, lay it out on the fabric, cut them all out. It's probably, I don't know, 6 or so pieces, 6 to 10 pieces, depending on what it is, and then put it all together like a puzzle piece, and that's pretty much a basic hoodie. After high school, right now, I'm actually applying for FIDM down in LA, so I should be going down there for product development or fashion design.
Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Although Trey is still young and passions and interests can change, it's hard to argue that he's not on the path of a privileged life.
No, I know I'll never stop, for sure. I'll keep doing, even if it's like just tailoring pants, helping other people out, even if it's doing small things like that, but I don't think I'll ever stop sewing or designing. That's just who I've become now. That's what you gotta do. I tell kids who are trying to follow their dreams to do it. Like, nothing stopping you. Literally, just do it. If people say something about you, just let it go. It's not gonna hurt you. It's not gonna hurt you in the long run. I promise you, you're not gonna see them in your future. If you keep doing what you need to do, and you grow bigger than them, you're gonna forget about them. You're not even gonna realize they were there.